Thank you so much for that, Zoe. More feel good coming your way right now, because Feed 5,000, an initiative run by the Hope Exchange, is an organization that provides essential services to the growing population of people living on the streets. Now, it has successfully served over 11,000 meals to their clients whilst in lockdown level 3, and even with the second wave upon us. Feed 5,000 ran from the 12th of December 2020 through to the 17th of Jan 2021, and in a time where there's never been a greater need to really just give hope and serve those who are hungry and alone. The director of Hope Exchange, Peter Solomon, joins us now to tell us a bit more. Good morning, Peter. So good to have you with us this morning.
Morning, Jamie and Ryle. Good to be with you. Thank you.
It really is good having you. And I got to say, I feel like we deserve a round of applause here, man. Congratulations. Woo! Unbelievable stuff, what you've done here, the work that you've achieved. But I got to ask you, man, how challenging was it doing this? And what were the sort of things you had to take into account, especially considering the fact that we have been in level 3 lockdown?
We're just organising the campaign itself takes months of preparation. So there were those challenges that we faced, which we had done before. Obviously, with the current pandemic situation, the challenges increased. As you can see from many of the stalls that have been flighted before, all our volunteers are appropriately masked, wearing masks while they're performing their duties. But the two main challenges we experienced this year around was a drop in volunteers. Many volunteers decided to pull back after committing their participation, and we can understand that. There were safety issues and perhaps safety issues in their own homes and circumstances, which meant that we had less volunteers this year. So that was one challenge. The second challenge was maintaining queue management and marshalling of the queues. Our clients who arrive for these meals on a daily basis queue up, and some arrive very early. And so unintentionally, there's a gathering that forms, and with less volunteers on the ground, we were struggling to maintain the physical distancing requirement. But regardless of that, we had no serious incidents, and the campaign continued.
Peter, I believe you ran the Feed 5,000 initiative in partnership with the Ladles of Love, along with volunteers as well, as you've mentioned. Just how important were these partnerships? You know, every one of you risked your health to feed those who couldn't feed themselves.
The short answer is vitally important and essential. I've been with the Hope Exchange for about 4 years, and in this NPO sector only for about 4 years now. So I don't have much experience. I come from a commercial background where typically you're fighting for a position and trying to increase your market share, even to the extent of taking out your competitors. I was very encouraged and refreshed having entered the NPO sector, and specifically with the Hope Exchange, to find that the various other organizations and nonprofits working in our sector, by and large, collaborate well, and there's a genuine and sincere commitment to work together to reach all of our goals. So the partnership with Ladles of Love, who are our main feeding partner, and they're situated on our premises in Roland Street in town, was essential to make this a success. And of course, the many volunteers that signed up for this period added to that.
Oh, Peter, I've got to say, I'm absolutely loving what I'm hearing and seeing where your energy is going. But now I also believe, apart from the Feed 5,000, you're actually still helping the homeless by providing them with a place to wash themselves as well as clothing. So why is something like this so important to you, and why you keep going and keep doing this, the above and beyond call to serve those in need?
Yes, Ryle. Feed 5,000 is one campaign that we run during the holiday period, starting with the December and year-end holiday period, and it's in its 6th year now. But the Hope Exchange exists, and its purpose is to help the homeless. Homelessness is rife, and more often than not, it's misunderstood. Homelessness has also seen a sharp increase over the past few years, and particularly we've visibly seen increases since the lockdown that was introduced, the hard lockdown that was introduced in early March or end of March last year. So Feed 5,000 is one initiative which deals with food insecurity and feeding people during the holiday period when most other service offerings to the homeless also shut. Cape Town, as you might know, except for retail and hospitality in the past, literally shuts down over the holiday period, and there were no feeding options for our homeless clients, and we then saw that as an opportunity to fill the gap. But apart from that, the Hope Exchange helps the homeless through to help themselves, firstly, and through a range of integrated social care services that aims to, one, improve the lives of those living on the street, two, to promote human development, but ultimately, number three, which is what I call the R&R, and it's not the R&R that we're familiar with, it's reunification and reintegration. Ultimately, all of our services, which are quite comprehensive and many, which I'll go into if there's time, is aimed at moving people off the streets. We help people on the streets to meet their basic needs, but not to make life comfortable on the streets. Ultimately, our energies are directed towards moving people off the street, and reintegration is one of those outcomes where someone is no longer dependent on social welfare or on services, social care services, and can operate independently and contribute meaningfully to society and be reintegrated into their community. Reunification is simply that, plus reunifying individuals with their family of origin or other family units.
Peter, I wish we could speak for a longer time, but we want to say thank you so much. We are certainly being inspired this morning by you and also by organizations such as the Hope Exchange, who are giving hope to those who need it in a practical way. We wish you 40 more years of success and continue doing everything that you're doing to feed those in need.
Thank you very much, Jamie.
Oh, it's such beautiful work. I think I can't applaud and encourage it even more. And for the rest of you, Mzansi, keep giving, keep sharing, and keep spreading the love.